everyone, and welcome to another Hubnut video, this time featuring our Daihatsu Sirion Miss Daisy, technically a Sirion Plus automatic, and seemingly our daily driver at the moment, which wasn't really the plan. She's a bit too nice for that, but she happens to be one of few cars actually working. The current working cars on the fleet are Betty, the Ford Fairmont from Australia, drinks too much fuel, can't use her very much at the moment. January finances are tight. We've got Bella the Berlingo, who failed her MOT, and I'm still awaiting parts to remedy that situation. We've got a rear brake hose and a headlamp to replace, and hopefully we can crack on with getting her back in for her retest. The 2CV is right up the back. Technically the 2CV is working and taxed and tested at the moment, but until today, which is beautiful, the weather had been absolutely horrific, and of course a beautiful sunny day in January means it's going to be freezing, so that they're gritting everywhere. So I think the 2CV is probably going to stay right there. Daihatsu awaiting MOT and funds to pay for that test and the insurance necessary to get her to an MOT station, so work to be done there. So yeah, it's rather fallen upon Miss Daisy here, this cute little Daihatsu Sirion Storia on the Japanese market, to be our daily driver, and she's been doing very well despite the fact she is underpowered. We still don't know if there's a running issue making her particularly sluggish, but we do now know she has an exhaust leak. So I'll start her up and we come to the back. All a bit flatulent, especially if I do that. Can you hear that? Now I think it's the pipe that goes to the rear silencer. We'll get up and have a look underneath. I hope it's that, because that's what I've ordered. There's a hoop over the rear axle, and I think the top of that tends to catch moisture, and I think that has blown out. I think that's where the blow is. So we're going to pull this tailpipe section off and have a look. Alright, I've got her up on one ramp. I jacked her onto the ramp because I didn't want to drive her up. Trying to drive non-driven wheels up a ramp can be tricky, but if we shove that in there, I'm not sure it is that pipe. I think it's more around this silencer bother, because that silencer is part of the entire exhaust that goes all the way to the front of the vehicle. Don't really want to have to change that, because you can't change one bit of it, you have to change the whole exhaust. So I think what I'm going to do is probably take the rear section off anyway, which will allow me to get a bit better access above that big silencer, and we'll see what's what. I'm afraid it is as I feared. This is the tailpipe disconnected. And if I put my hand over the tailpipe here, it's chuffing like a good one. So the problem is on this section, so it might be worth dropping it on the hangers, seeing if there's anything I can do to bodge this up temporarily, but there's not much hope here. Probably gonna have to replace the entire exhaust. I think I've found it. I just noticed there appears to be a gap here, so this is trying to fall off. It's really not very well welded to it, so repair may be possible. I may have to give poor long-suffering Tim a call and see if he can run a welder around it, because that looks eminently fixable. I did get the goop out, but I don't think I found any holes other than that rather large one there. I will just try and double check. Hold on a minute. Yeah, I think that's it right there. Wonderful. Well, doesn't it make a difference having the car up in the air? Yes, we are once again back at Cambrian Classics, because that needs welding, and I can't be doing that. But we've just first of all got the fun of trying to get the exhaust off. 2 bolts to the manifold up at the front, which are hopefully coming undone, and then we can drop the exhaust off and have a proper look at this. But yeah, this looks more manufacturing defect or something, so we'll get it off and have a proper look. It's definitely had the odd clout on the underside, this car. After a bit of a game, we have got the exhaust off, and we can see the problem here. This bit is not ever so attached, just split all across the top, and the problem is, I can't really show you, it doesn't pick it up very well even with a torch. The baffle inside the exhaust has broken. So, oh, here comes the torch. Let's see if we can show you. I don't think we can, it's very dark in there. Yeah, the baffle in there has broken, despite the fact it looks like a nice, fairly recent exhaust. Inside would suggest otherwise, but then it's probably done a lot of short journeys, which are the worst thing, because then you just fill the exhaust with condensation and don't dry it out. While long term, we will aim to replace the exhaust. Tim is going to try and just weld it up for now. But yeah, a bit of a game. You have to drop the stabilizer bar off and the bottom here to get enough access to get the exhaust flange out of this, because it's all one piece, which means when I replace the exhaust, I've got to replace almost all of it. There we go, the exhaust is back on. Yeah, the only leaking is around my hand, I think.
Yeah, it's okay.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. That sounds much better. So there we go. Thanks again to Tim for his essential help. It wasn't quite where I was expecting to end up this afternoon, and as you'll see in another video coming soon, I was here quite recently as well, so thanks to Tim for putting up with me and my shambolic vehicles. But Miss Daisy now sounds in fine fettle, can go back into daily use. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Farewell. Just showing you I have actually cleaned the moss out of it.